All right, I'd like to go ahead and open up the Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024 Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting. If you would, please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda would be the consent agenda.
We have the regular meeting minutes, the work session minutes, and the closed meeting minutes, all from March 19th, 2024.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Rollmaker. I'll vote.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Rollmaker?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be public comments. If you'd like to address us with any issues, please come to the podium, state your name. We'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Makes it easy. We'll move on. Board of Alderman comments.
Hope everybody took an opportunity today to go out and vote in our city elections, our county election today, even though it was a little cool and rainy. So,
Anything else? No. I hope everybody survived the storms last night. Didn't seem as bad here as they did other places, but it was a lot of rain.
didn't notice the storms
At all, really.
Slept right through it.
I'm not saying a word. We'd like to thank you, or say thank you to the top 3 logo submitters. We do have something, right?
We don't have anything.
Sorry,
No, you're good.
it was me.
Mayor, I'd like to
Go ahead.
back up just a second and welcome our new reporter, Jack Underwood, I believe, correct? Welcome to Warrington, and hope you found a lot of things to write about. We're looking forward to reading some of your articles for sure.
Just do us good. Unless we screw up.
So tonight we have the introduction of the individuals who submitted the final logos to us. This first logo was submitted by Jennifer Junker, who is here. The other logo, the W, was submitted by Michelle Bernth. She could not make it tonight. And then this third logo, which was the winning logo, was submitted by Diane Griesinger. I don't want to butcher her last name, who is also here tonight.
Would you guys mind coming up and get a picture taken? Are you guys okay with that or not comfortable with that? We could do that. I just want to, the more we can put out saying, hey, people do submit things and like to be a part of it, we'd love to put your names out there and show that you guys did something.
Right on up here.
Randy, guide them where they need to go.
You can go just against this wall. Do you want to join them?
Sure. You, everybody. Everybody. I don't go by myself anymore. I guess we're all going.
Hey, Gary, they're going over to have their picture
Thanks.
taken. Go that way.
Thanks, Stephen.
Who was out here like this, Steven? I don't know. Where?
Just getting behind you.
One, two, three. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes.
Go take pictures.
That's your neighbor's job.
That's the mayor's job. God.
I'm new here.
So So I'll tell you, I think most of the board, if not all the board, just wanted to actually see the people who submitted them to say thank you. We don't get to do that too often. Some things that get submitted only get submitted by email, and we don't get to see the faces behind it. It's kind of nice to see people who submit the things that we get to vote on or do things. So thank you very much again.
Thanks again.
It was hard to pick them too, by the way.
It was actually
tough.
a very split vote.
Yeah, very split.
Okay.
Next. All right, insurance benefit renewals.
So we're really excited about this year for our recommendations for the upcoming renewals and changes for this year. Tonight, we have Christy Archishevsky. I knew I was going to mess it up, from Gallagher, and she's here to explain all of this.
Mayor, Alderman, it is my pleasure to be here this evening to talk to you about the renewal of the City of Warrenton Employee Benefit Program. So just to start things off, last year, we really had a goal of making sure that we could get technology in here for the open enrollment process. So last year, we were able to implement Employee Navigator, which is an online enrollment system that the employees have been using and will be using again this year. So that was in and of itself a great technological advance to get everybody off the paper enrollment and into the online enrollment. So as we looked into this year, I had 2 goals from Brandy and Cindy that they would like me to work on. One was, you need to save the city money. And 2 was, we would like to try to streamline the vendors. We have a lot of vendors, and we'd like to see if while you do the marketing, you could find some cost-efficient ways of bundling the vendors together. So with that being said, see if I can. With that being said, I'll start with the fact that we went to the marketing, we went out to bid for the medical program and all of the other coverages. Which side is it? I gotcha. Sorry. And so I wanted to let you know, for the marketing summary, we went out to 3 different vendors for the medical, and we went out to an additional 3 different vendors for the dental, the vision, the basic life and AD&D, and then the voluntary coverages that are short-term disability, critical illness, accident. And so with that being said, went out to market, asked everyone to provide us quotes. And I want to start with the medical plan. So for the medical plans, our initial original renewal from United Healthcare was an 8% increase. That represented about $55,000 in an increase. So we went out to bid. Once we got the competitive bids back, we were able to negotiate that 8% increase down to 0. So offset that $55,000, and now everyone's rates can remain the same, contributions can remain the same for the medical program with no coverages being changed. And this next slide is just showing that 0%. Moving on to your non-medical plans. The first one is the dental plan. Your renewal with Cigna came in above the current rates, and then when we marketed and started looking at what vendor could we bundle together to maybe streamline some of those vendors for administrative efficiencies, the standard really came in the most competitive in all coverages. So you'll see under the dental, the rates came in at undercurrent, about 4% under. So you'll see those rates represented during open enrollment as a savings to the employees. The vision, same story, same coverages in all of these cases. They're not changing, but we were able to secure savings on the vision plan as well. That was about a 13% decrease, but as you look at it in dollars, of course, the premium is much lower, so the dollars represented are about a 13% decrease over what they're currently paying. As we move on to the basic life and AD&D, this is a coverage that is paid 100% by the city, and we were able to get a decrease on that. So it represents about a $1,400 savings annually on the basic life, but no increase. So we were able to achieve some savings there as well.
Real quick on that one, sorry.
Sure.
On the age reduction schedule, though, so is it 50% at age 70 now versus 50% at age 50, or?
50% age 70.
Okay.
Yes. And then on the voluntary life, this is where the employees can elect to enroll in some additional life coverages. All of these rates remained the same, so there were no change in those rates for the same coverage. When we look at the voluntary short-term disability, we had some really good competitive rates for the same coverage. So in all cases, your employees are going to realize savings, whether they're enrolled in it now or they want to enroll in it during open enrollment. All of these rates are lower on all 4 options under the short-term disability that the city offers. All of those rates came in under the current rate. Excuse me, accident. Same story, rates came in under the current with the Hartford, and so we'll be bundling that also with the standard.
I gotta laugh a little bit. What is a voluntary accident?
Oh, excuse me. Accident coverage is something that you can elect to enroll in. If you're me and
It's
you...
voluntary enrollment.
Yes, it's voluntary enrollment. You don't voluntarily want an accident, I'm sure. But if you have kids, some people do. I could have used it the couple times my son broke his ankle in basketball, so. But yes, we don't want voluntary accidents happening, just voluntary enrollment in case. Critical illness, this is also a voluntary enrollment because we don't want anybody to actually get a critical illness. But in case that happens, these rates are lower than the current rates through the Hartford as well. And then finally, we're offering a new benefit this year. It's a hospital indemnity plan. This coverage is for when you may go into the inpatient in the hospital. This plan will pay over and above any other insurance. So on the high deductible plan, for example, that's going to pay for up to $1,000 of your deductible. So it's over and above anything else that's being paid through the city as well. But again, it's offered on a voluntary basis, so they can choose to enroll or not enroll. And so finally, I don't think it's a surprise, our recommendation would be to renew with United Healthcare. So there is no disruption to the employees, coverages are not changing, and the rates are all remaining the same. And then for the non-medical benefits, offering everything through the standard allows employee savings out of their paychecks, and it's a great message to send to the employees tomorrow. So we're asking for your approval on the renewal of the employee benefit program, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
So when we were looking through, it seemed like the standard offered this for a 3-year for
Yes.
most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
No.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for such hard work. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for your partnership.
Really happy with that.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the renewal with United Healthcare and implement the standard for the remaining coverages of dental, vision, life, basic life, and AD&D, voluntary life, voluntary short-term disability, accident, critical illness, and hospital indemnity.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Quarter, second by, who was it? By Alderman Rollmaker. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. Next, we'll hear from City Administrator Brandy Walters.
Good evening. The first thing that I have for you tonight is a discussion to close Forest Ridge Drive to the traffic at the pool park. This had been discussed in previous meetings regarding the development that's going on out there. And I have spoke with the police and Public Works, who neither department has an issue with us closing that, so I'm just bringing that forward to you guys to see what you would like to do.
Fire department didn't have a problem? Our EMT?
I did not check with the fire department. Police department and the,
I don't know.
I believe when I spoke with the chief or guy, I don't remember which one, they were talking about that we could put a lockbox on it.
So let's discuss it with them in case they have some type that we'd like to have, but I don't mind proceeding with things if we need to. I just, if they have a certain particular type they like to use or keep, I know sometimes they do, and they did whenever we were talking about doing that on businesses. So, let's just talk to them on reference to more so what would they like on there. That's direction. And stop me if I'm wrong, I think the board has already given direction that they wouldn't mind it being closed. Is there somebody who's opposed to that?
No, go ahead. I mean, check with them and let's just do it.
Word with whatever they
Yes.
want on there.
Yep.
Okay.
That was an easy one. Need a motion? I don't think we do. It was just a discussion topic.
It's just discussion.
Okay. Then you can proceed, march forward.
The next thing I have for you tonight is to discuss the liquor licensing requirements. We had spoke about this in a previous planning meeting, and we were going to remove the restaurant bar in there as a requirement because the state doesn't require that anymore, so I'm in the process of doing that code change. However, one of the things that came up while I was looking through this, I wanted to bring forward to you is if you would be interested or not in the procedures of that. Currently, we bring every liquor license in front of the board. Regardless of if it's a regular business that operates throughout the year or if it's a temp license or a caterer's license. My question for you, if you would be interested in those caterer license or temp license, which is like for our fall festival mainly, if those could be approved administratively. There is not a legal requirement to have those approved, not any liquor licensing, in fact. But my question is if we could approve those administratively, it could kind of speed up the process with the fall festival. Mainly, also, we wouldn't be on such a time crunch at that time of year of we have to have it in by a certain time period to get it on the board meetings, because that's how we're scheduling them now.
And that's just for the fall festival or any type of
Just those
festival?
temporary
Temporary,
licensing.
just
Yes.
strictly temporary?
Yeah, we would still bring all the other ones in front of you.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Anybody who's not good with that?
Okay, then I'll move forward with that on the code change. You'll have the code change in front of you pretty soon. The next thing that I have for you tonight is the contract to sell the house on Willow Road with that property for $300,000, and there is a bill to follow.
Any questions on that?
None.
I'll proceed with it. All right, I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 25-24.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman McCullum.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute a real estate purchase agreement for the sale of 267 Willow Road.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 25-24.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Corder.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute a real estate purchase agreement for the sale of 267 Willow Road.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Corder.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yeah.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
The next thing that I have for you is water deposits and discontinuance of service code change. This we had discussed in our planning meeting, and this is where we adjust the commercial accounts on the water bills. They would have to go, we had changed, currently they have 2 years would they return their deposit. And with that being such a higher water usage, we had discussed about changing them to going 5 years before their deposit is returned, so that code changes on here. Residential accounts would go 2 years and theirs would be returned, both of which, when the deposits are returned, they would be processed and put onto their current account. If they don't have a current account, then a check would be issued. We also had discussed the landlords, if they go a satisfactory payments for a certain amount of time, I don't remember, I believe that's 2 years, then they would no longer be required to put deposits on all of their rentals. So that's what's in front of you tonight.
Any questions on that?
None.
I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 26-24.
So,
Second. Motion made by Alderman Quarter, second by Alderman Schultz.
An ordinance amending Section 705.240 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri regarding water deposits and discontinuance of service.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 26-24.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman McCollum, second by Alderman Miller.
An ordinance amending Section 705.240 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri regarding water deposits and discontinuance of service.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Quarter.
yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Tonight, I would also like to ask you if we would be able to reallocate the funds for the ACO van, the Animal Control Officer. We had that in the budget for $36,100. Unfortunately, we are having a problem locating a van for that price. So what we would like to do is move a current Trailblazer that is used by the Detective Bureau into Animal Control, and then purchase a Malibu for the Detective Bureau, which would cost $25,300, and then use that remaining $10,000 to outfit both vehicles. So that way we would cover the Animal Control, and then we would just purchase another vehicle for the Detective Bureau. If you guys are okay with that, we would do a budget adjustment later in this year.
Any
But
questions
we
on
would
that?
move forward with the purchase.
Are they still going to need an ACO van eventually?
No, we would just move that Trailblazer over to them for now,
And use the Trailblazer instead.
until that
Yeah.
is no longer able to be used.
The animals that are transported in a van, but they're actually put into a cage. The cage can go in a van or a crossover.
Plenty of room in the Trailblazer for,
Right. I mean, you don't need a giant van to transport a dog. The largest thing they transport is a dog. So,
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the relocation of the funds for an animal control van.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made by Alderman McCollum, seconded by Alderman Quarter. Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
And just a few dates for you guys to remember that I know I keep putting in front of you. May 11th is the citywide yard sale. May 14th at 5 p.m. is our work session with P&Z regarding the public hearing process in this building. And then May 18th is the citywide cleanup at the fairgrounds. That's all I have.
Work session again, give us time.
May 14th at 5 p.m.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Next, we'll hear from Finance Officer Megan Wilder. Wielder.
Elder.
I'm going to get this right. Welder. I'm going to get this right. Welder. Gosh darn. Schultz is usually the one sitting next to me and can tell me.
Oh, is it my fault?
Yeah, it's yours. I apologize, man.
That's all right. Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have in front of you the February financials. So year-to-date for revenue, sales taxes, we're seeing a slight increase in the sales tax, about $45,000 above budget in the general fund, and $15,000 in the transportation fund. For licenses, we are over for revenue for about $31,000 due to the single-family and multifamily residential building permits. Lastly, the water and sewer is over expected revenue by $50,000 year-to-date, with the main driver being $33,000 in connection fees, $8,000 in penalties, and $5,000 in industrial sewer. And those $8,000 in penalties is Refresco. We're working with them, but yeah, they have the biggest water expense. Anyway, expenses, police. Wages are over budget again by $6,000 due to an officer payout and comp time payouts. Pool is under budget as well by $20,000 due to vacant positions. Grounds and maintenance is also under budget by $25,000 due to timing on seasonal work positions, as well as chemical and seed purchase timing. Transportation, under budget, $37,000 due to timing on the budgeted traffic study that we had. Water is under budget, $9,000 due to timing on the meter purchases. That's going to catch up here in March. And $7,500 under due to pump repairs budgeted, and nothing yet has been expensed year to date. And we're also under in several other categories. Lastly, the sewer expenses are $10,000 under budget for salaries due to vacant positions, $7,500 due to timing for consulting engineer fees, and $9,000 under for budget repairs budgeted but not yet used. Questions for me?
Good.
Appreciate it. Thank
Just
you.
keep Guy out of our water sewer money, we'll be just fine.
Right.
He hasn't asked in a while. You gotta, I'll support you there.
He has a reputation for
Next, we'll hear from Aquatics Director Lisa Kramer.
Good evening. You have in front of you the aquatic monthly report from March. Some highlights of that report is we had 3,153 people come through our doors. This is 269 less people than last year. We sold 29 new memberships, renewed 9, and registered 26 insurance memberships. This is 4 more memberships than we had last year. Swim lessons started this week, and we have 119 participants for the 7-week session. We had over 300 people at the Extravaganza Carnival last weekend. We had to move it into this building due to the high winds and cold temperatures. And a few upcoming programs. Tomorrow is our April Tadpole Tales. The Easter Bunny has hung around and is going to be visiting the pool as the kids hear the story of how to catch an Easter Bunny, and they're going to have an underwater Easter egg hunt. And then Saturday, April 13th is our last splash and pajama party for this school year, and we have a lifeguard class starting this weekend as well. Does anybody have any questions?
Don't believe so. Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Grounds and Maintenance Director Justin Knoll.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have our report for the month of March. Some of our highlights were our Tree City application was accepted for this year, and that puts us at our 14th year in the program. That's pretty exciting.
It is.
We also hosted the open house at the sports complex on the 23rd. I think we had a good turnout, seen a couple of you out there. And then we've had also 3 other tournaments at the complex since. We also have another one this weekend that's going to be 29 teams. Then we'll also be starting spring soccer, which has about 450 kids signed up out there at the spring season. And then I believe there's about 350 kids for the baseball season starting here in the middle of April.
Excellent.
It's great to hear that.
Other than that, just been keeping things going and getting ready for mowing season and landscape cleanup and just all the usual spring and summer activities. So.
I think the mowing season's here.
Yeah.
Justin, did you get any other feedback from any of the other teams that have played on the new fields?
We've a lot. A lot of them have been contacting with Dave and TSM, but from their talking with them, just they like the fields. They feel like they're nice and level and flat. The transition from the turf to the grass, couldn't hardly be any better than it is, and the overall accommodations of the complex are meeting expectations. So one other note I did have, we did add 14 handicap parking spaces out on the parking lots on A and C to accommodate some of the parking issues that we had from last summer. I believe there was a couple comments towards that. So.
Justin, when does that mowing start as far as like the sidewalk and the overpasses?
I believe it's Nelson's Land Management Service has a contract for us. They started. They got their last week of March. They started the highways and the roundabouts.
Okay.
They should be hitting the Veterans Memorial site this week, and then they'll be doing North 47 once a month, starting from March through about November.
Great. I'm already
That's
getting
the same
questions.
company we had last year.
Yes, sir. Same company as last year.
Excellent. Any other questions? Thank you, Justin. Next, we have from Public Works Director, Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You got my monthly report. There's a couple fire hydrants that needed to be repaired and our standard water shutoffs that needed to be replaced. We had a total of 4 sewer calls. 2 were private, 2 were on the city. They started work on the Veterans Memorial for the stormwater and sidewalk project. They did some saw cutting, got some cones up. The water line on Boone Slick, they're working on that. They got 5 more service lines that need to be installed and still need to do the bore. And we're getting ready to set up a meeting with the contractor to start discussing the sewer line that's going in so we can get a hold of the homeowners that we're going to be affecting and get a timeline of when we're going to be in there and doing that work. So we got a pre-meeting that we need to schedule probably within sometime this month. So that's getting ready to take off.
Any other questions? Thank you, Guy.
I appreciate the insurance too.
Good.
Lady
Way to
there,
help.
tremendous job.
I'll entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We are so adjourned.